Hello darlings, welcome to Tammy and Tiara's. Here I am again. Another week's gone by. It's been a beautiful, busy week here in Ballarat. It started off that I thought that I had nothing on, and then I remembered it was a lot going on this week. But I have to say I've taken time to enjoy the garden because the weather is beautiful at the moment. Autumn's always my favourite month of the year. And I wanted to take you for a little walk around the garden with Bert on the drone. So he has filmed all of this drone footage, and I'm very proud of what he did, and I wondered, would you like to watch it? And I thought, well, look, I'm going to pop it up and you can let me know if it was okay. All the garden is growing very well. I've planted a few plants where things have died off, and I'm hoping some little cuttings will take off among those trees along there of scented geraniums. I have a deep love for geraniums. This year I actually made myself a geranium garden, so where I've planted them sort of all along the edge of the clothesline so I can enjoy the flowers and the leaves when I peg the washing out. Look at that autumn leaf up there, the one that's orange. The first one on the vine to turn. So this was a lovely Saturday. My week starts from Saturday to Saturday, and this Saturday Jacinta and Reese, Emma and Oscar were over, and we managed to get some filming out the front done, and little Emma was playing with Lucy, and it was just really a lovely day. I'm leaving the Christmas balls up in the tree because I think they just look pretty. They bounce around. That tree is a real dancy tree, that Prunus Elvin. It moves and moves. It's just got so much rhythm. So how have you all been? Please leave me a comment and let me know. Hello to Julie. Thank you for letting me know your puppy dog's name was Boo. Don't we love our fur babies? Oh, how I miss my Millie. Lucy's been constant companionship this week, as fur babies are. They're with you all the time, aren't they? We take her everywhere with us. We've found she's got another loose tooth from her escapade of escapism, but she sees the doggy dentist on the 28th of April. So in the end, that they had a cancellation and we have to go then. Sometimes I just sit on the grass out the front and just play with her because she loves it. Every morning we go to the park and do at least one round around because we've found that her leg's been playing up a little bit more, so I don't want to over push her. So I'm not throwing the ball too far or too hard. It's just a nice easy pace for her to go and get it. We can do this for 15-20 minutes at a time easily, and then all of a sudden she won't come back and she's had enough and she's walked in the house with the ball. And you sit there and you think, where's Lucy gone? Where's Lucy gone? And she has gone. Yes, it's beautiful to see blue sky, isn't it?
You had enough.
I really love being out in my garden, checking on the plants. I do the gratitude walk every morning around the garden. The children haven't picked up their gnomes. I don't think that they really wanted them, to be quite honest, but I don't care. I've got them all around my garden and I'm very happy to have them sitting there. Hello, Emma. This is Emma. She's Jacinta's youngest daughter, and she carries my name of Pearl. She's a real sweetheart and she loves Lucy. So we were out the front playing, for ages with Lucy because she just loves it. And Emma is allowed to pick Lucy up and carry her, which is very rare because Lucy, as you know, has a temperament all of her own. But she lets Emma pick her up and she doesn't growl or anything. She loves Emma very much. Isn't it funny to get up high and look down on things? It looks totally different, doesn't it? I think of the transformation we've done here, it's really been a lot. Now I have to say, what happened here was Lucy hadn't eaten for over a day and I was quite worried about her, so I threw her food out onto that table because I thought, well, maybe the birds will eat it, you know. And there she was, up on the table eating it. We went for a trip up to the lake before the Begonia Festival, and the gardens were actually closed. But we got to have a really good look at the Gatekeepers Cottage. The Gatekeepers Cottage. This Gatekeepers Cottage came absolutely in pieces, and they have restored it completely. It was newly restored in the 1860s, architecturally designed timber cottage that was originally built to house one of the gardeners and his family within the garden precinct. The cottage was built near the northern gates, which were closed and locked each evening to keep the riffraff out. The cottage was housed and the gardeners lived there until 2013, and then it was gifted to the Friends of the Botanical Gardens, as was the wish of the owners of the cottage. After a few years of delays, heritage protection and subsequent lifting of what protection the fate of the cottage was in serious doubt, finally and happily it was agreed by all that the Gatekeepers Cottage would be relocated back to the gardens. Further encouragement and funded by a generous donor, the cottage was in 2017 removed from its Gregory Street home to here in the North Gardens Reserve. I know that very generous donor who actually paid for that moving of that house. She's a lovely lady. The cottage has been expertly and beautifully restored, and with the partnership of the Friends of the Botanical Gardens, the work of the Gatekeepers Cottage Restoration Project Committee in consultation with the Heritage Committee, honestly, a lot of people decided on all of this. But now it's for botanic kids. This is for little children under the age of kindy that toddle along here and learn how to plant plants and learn all about nature. And it's really, really wonderful. There's lots of family activities in partnership with the Ballarat City Council and lots of things going on there through the Begonia Festival, of course. They have songs and readings and nature walks and crafts. It's absolutely beautiful. I was a little bit upset to see the garden had gone to a bit of disrepair, but I'm sure that's because it's coming on to winter and they're getting ready to cut it all back. It also needed a good clean on the outside, but that's me, I see that wherever I go. But I walked around it and got some lovely photos of it for you. And I thought you would just like to see this cottage because it's just magical, isn't it, to think of the heritage that this little building's had. And now it is so loved by those botanical kids and all the other craft groups that are using it. It's a lovely, lovely spot. It's got herbs around the garden and bay trees. You can see some of the children's artwork sitting up there against the wall. And inside, of course, it's all new and modern, but it's restored in its original way, but in the new and modern way of doing it. Out the back they've got the hay bales where the children sit on and they can have stories and they can just, do whatever they like. Children love to go up there. Lucy really loved this walk. I was very sorry to see that the gardens had been closed off, but it's all in preparation for the Begonia Festival, which is a big festival here in Ballarat. And that's on this weekend. Bert and I go up after the Begonia Festival because it's way too busy for us.
I have to say,
but there was lots going on up there. Look at the spider webs, I just wanted to give it a clean. I love the way they put the curved path. I just think that curved paths are so much nicer than straight. So it was lovely to have a proper look around there. We really enjoyed it. It's always busy around Lake Wendouree. Cars everywhere, people everywhere, riding, jogging, with babies and with prams and with toddlers. I particularly like this little walk that comes out further on up the gardens. Bert was taking some photos and I was lucky enough to get a chance to walk little Lucy, and she quite enjoyed it. Lucy was a bit scared through here. I think it still brings her back memories of her little bush escapade. I hope you're all well and happy wherever you are in the world and looking after your mental health, which means getting out and about. Sometimes the hardest thing we can do is actually step out that front door. That takes the most effort, doesn't it? Just to get out the front door and get on your way. We also had Grandparents' Week this week, and I've left some photos on the end for you to have a look at. That was for Paige, my Richard's second daughter, and it was wonderful to go along and see her classroom and everything. It really was. We sat down and had morning tea together. There's so many different little walks up at Lake Wendouree, and all of them are wheelchair access, which is very good for people who have trouble walking. There was lots of white cockatoos. They were so loud. I was going to walk over through those trees, but then I changed my mind. Look at the birds. Look at them, they're just magnificent. And Lucy was chasing some of them. Then we went over and walked down along the edge of the gardens to see what they were doing. Lots of areas were roped off. These were like fluorescent coloured big animals. We did go up there and tried to get a park yesterday, but we spent an hour and 3/4 driving to try and get the park. It was just so slow and there was nowhere to park. And it was very, very frustrating that in the end we came home. We just didn't worry about it, and we'll go up this week. But we got to see all of those. There was thousands of people. They were lined up to see the begonias, right back down to the gates at the start of the actual garden area. Now this is the big floral pot that Samantha McIntosh personally got going again, and there was a little girl in their garden, and I asked her for a piece of the geranium, and yes, she gladly gave me 2 pieces. I didn't have that particular red one. Oh, I love geraniums. They grow so easily. They smell so good. They remind me of my grandparents.
Thank you, darling.
And Mum. See all the little cottages and everything set up. They do go to a lot of trouble. But when we were driving past, and it probably wasn't an hour of driving looking for it would be an hour driving looking for the park because you were stuck in traffic and couldn't move either way. But I couldn't get over all the food stalls. Just so many. So they were lined up right back down here past those lions, right up to these gates. Down here further you'll see Bert taking a photo of the gates, and people were lined up to go into that big glass house up the top there.
It is actually moving around and the gimbal's not moving. I'm not
The
doing
begonias
that.
don't
And you
stop
see it
flowering
going
because
around
it's
again,
Tuesday
right?
morning.
Started over here.
But you do get good inspiration, don't you, from going to gardens? We love going to gardens.
Two little ones.
These are the main gates here. So Bert's also been and put a trampoline up for Oscar and for Emma, and it's not just your normal trampoline, it's quite what can I say, an engineered one. It's got sides and it's got a roof, and you can put spray a little hose on it. Got connections for that, and speakers for the children to Bluetooth to their devices while they're jumping. But it's really perfect because Emma does cheerleading and she can practice her moves. I love the gardens. We go up there a lot. And why wouldn't you? It's always lovely to see my car after we've been walking around for a bit. Oscar and Emma truly love the trampoline. It was a bit of a job for Bert to put it together, but with the help of Jacinda, they did it.
Oscar and Emma, Nanny held the ladder at one stage, so she was very helpful. We better say thank you to Nanny.
Thank you too. Nanny.
I wanted to share this again because I just think it's so cute. If ever you wonder what I'm doing, think that I'm probably doing this. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all those things. But most of all, look after you. Remember, if you don't look after you, who else will? Look for the positive in every day. And stay happy. Think happy, be happy. Drop it, come on. You had enough. Have you had enough? Come on. Okay. Grandparents' Day is so much fun. I really look forward to it. Paige is so delightful. We had a wonderful time. Then we popped into Richard, and there was little Bailey. How lucky. Paige got a first and a second prize with her artwork. And I'll never forget my Millie, my darling Millie, who I miss every single day. Thank you for watching, darlings. Bye till next week.